This is the examination of the hidden human condition.
You're listening to the Hidden Killers Podcast.
This is the Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Bruschi.
We are learning some more information about the Madeline Kingsbury disappearance and murder. If you remember, this is the one that took place near Minneapolis, Minnesota, earlier in the year. The mother who went missing, the boyfriend who claimed he had nothing to do with it, and then there was a lot of things that ended up tying him to the body that was later found in a bunch of brush near a river. Yeah. Let's go through what has recently been discovered since the last time we talked about this case. Madeline, in many ways, knew something was up. If you've ever been in a situation where a friend or even yourself has to say to someone, if something happens to me, know who did it. I would never leave my kids. That's exactly what happened. She told a friend, if something ever happens to me, know that Adam did it. I would never leave my kids. Adam, the one in question, is her ex-boyfriend, Adam Fravel, the father of her children and the primary suspect charged with the murder. These details form part of the comprehensive cache of evidence that's recently been brought to light following the unsealing of search warrants by a Winona County judge. In this case, Adam Fravel was apprehended in June on charges of second-degree murder after Kingsbury's remains were found in a location south of Winona by a Fillmore County deputy. Now, despite his arrest, Fravel denied any involvement in Kingsbury's disappearance, maintaining his innocence even after she vanished. The vanishing of Miss Kingsbury took place on March 31st. A lot of people paying attention to this, igniting a widespread search effort that lasted nearly 10 weeks. Driven by thousands of concerned individuals. They really put on an amazing show of community support in her hometown area. And they went out, so many people volunteering their time and their efforts, going through thawing at that point. If you've ever been in northern Minnesota at that time of year in March, it's not warm yet. It's thaw, it's slush, it's ice, it's snow, it's cold water, it's uncomfortable, absolutely everything. And they all got out there for days on end, weeks on end, searching. People who didn't even know her. The community really did rally around. Unfortunately, after 10 weeks, her remains were eventually found in Mabel, a location alarmingly close to property owned by, guess who? Adam Fravel's parents. This is a bit of a ways away from where they were initially looking. So a body has been found. What do we know about the relationship, the status of it, what was going on in it between Madeline and Adam Fravel? An exploration of court records, it showed a troubling history of, you've guessed it, an abusive relationship between Kingsbury and Fravel, a dangerous entanglement from which Kingsbury was reportedly striving to escape. Per the search warrant affidavit, several witnesses told police that Kingsbury had confided in them about instances where Fravel had physically abused her. So this has already been confided into the police. It's been confided into a good friend, so much so where Madeline feels the need to say, if something happens to me, just understand I didn't do it. A witness relayed to the police how Kingsbury had stated that Fravel had previously taken their children without informing her of their whereabouts and had recently resorted to threats and assault. Despite her own peril, Kingsbury had refrained from reporting Fravel's actions to the authorities, reportedly because she wanted to protect their children from becoming embroiled in the situation. However, she had sought advice on how to extricate herself from this volatile on-again, off-again relationship. The couple had initiated couples therapy towards the end of 2022, according to documents. A significant turning point occurred when Kingsbury began dating another man. And of course, that's going to make the other man, who's abusive, even more angry. Because if there's one thing we know about abusers, they don't do well with jealousy or people walking away or saying no to them. or being just decent human beings in general. Kingsbury met another man and made plans to relocate with him. Friends told the police that Kingsbury had applied for a townhouse in Goodview, just northwest of Winona, a week prior to her disappearance. So she wasn't planning on going very far. It wasn't a cross the country, you're going to have to fly to see your kids type deal. It's more like you may have to drive past the second Taco Bell to get to it. She informed Fravel about her intentions to move out of the home that they shared, and despite her trepidation about Fravel's possible reaction, Kingsbury was said to be excited about her future prospects. At least that is what one of her friends had told the police. In some testimonials that were given by Kingsbury's mother and sister, they detailed the extent of Fravel's emotional manipulation and controlling behavior. He'd prohibit Kingsbury from communicating with her new boyfriend in his presence and demanded to read their text exchanges, because that's what every healthy human being in or out of a relationship does. Let me read your text messages. If anyone is coming up to you going, let me read your text messages, there's something wrong with the relationship. And it doesn't mean it's always you. It means it could, if you're not the one demanding it and someone else is coming up and doing this, there's something wrong. It could be you. If you have something to hide, then there may be a reason that someone is doing it. I'm just saying, it's never a good thing if anyone in the relationship is like, yeah, we read your text messages. That sounds like a non-threatening, paranoid or accusatory or connected the dots and I know what the fuck you're doing situation to be in. Not good. Several friends and family revealed to the police that Fravel had chillingly warned Kingsbury, if you don't listen, you'll end up like Gabby Petito. Another loving statement to give to the person that you supposedly care about and don't want to lose. Nothing like bringing up Gabby Petito in a conversation and making the reference to that person. When confronted by the police, Fravel said, just a joke, you know. It was Petito hour. We always make Gabby Petito jokes around 4 to 5. You know, that's what we do. He didn't say that part, but, might as well have. The final sighting of Kingsbury alive was on the morning of March 31st when she and Fravel dropped their children, age 5 and 2, at daycare. Fravel subsequently informed the police that Kingsbury was scheduled to pick up the children that afternoon, but failed to show up, leading him to step in. However, the daycare provider refuted Fravel's claim, stating that they never contacted him to collect the children and that he appeared at the daycare at regular pickup time. Court records reveal also that Fravel initially appeared unconcerned about Kingsbury's disappearance. An hour after his conversation with the police on March 31st, he texted the partner of Kingsbury's best friend, who had reported her missing, to inquire about the reason behind her decision to involve the authorities. I'm so confused. She hasn't been gone for a day yet, so I'm not freaking out, but everybody else is, he texted. His apparent nonchalance extended even further as he texted that no one reached out to him until after 7 p.m. On the unsealed search warrants, they indicate the police's suspicions that Fravel may have attempted to obliterate evidence. Scrutiny of camera systems at both Kingsbury's and Fravel's parents' homes, which were accessible to Fravel, suggested tampering. The cameras at Kingsbury's residence appeared to have been forcibly removed and their memory cards erased, while network data post-March 30th seemed to have been all eradicated. During an April 7th house search, police discovered a computer tower and laptop discarded in a dumpster and what appeared to be a burned computer device in a nearby fire pit. Court documents also reveal that Fravel had deactivated location data and usage history on his cell phones. Someone's been listening to Too Much True Crime. Now, we talk about this stuff all the time, where it's like, why on earth did somebody not do the obvious things of like, oh, I don't know, get rid of the security cameras, don't make a whole bunch of horrible Google searches, obvious things. Maybe he was trying. Failing, you're leaving computer devices like in the dumpster out back burned. Yeah, that doesn't look suspicious or anything. Take your chance with the data corrupting itself just on its own. If you're going to do that. Suspicion intensified on April 9th when a neighbor of Fravel's parents filmed him wearing dark clothing and driving an ATV on their property, carrying a shovel. That's normal. This was notable due to the unnecessary warm 70-degree weather. The next day, police seized an ATV and the shovel. Cadaver dogs trained to locate human remains indicated a positive reaction to both the ATV's bed and shovel's spade, lending more credibility to law enforcement suspicions and linking Fravel directly to Madeline Kingsbury's murder. That's the latest on this case. Press subscribe so you don't miss any of our coverage on it as we continue to learn more right here.
You're locked into the Hidden Killers podcast.
Want more? Start binging on all of our true crime podcasts right now through Apple Podcasts and get an ad-free experience when you sign up to be a True Crime Today Premium Plus member exclusively on Apple Podcasts.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast dropping soon.
Press subscribe now.